Hello. I'm International Master Andrei Ostrovsky, and this is Learn from Chess Blitz, live show that gives you an opportunity to learn something new about chess while playing against me. So I'm waiting for your challenges on leechess.org. You can find me there by nickname Mostrovsky, and the spelling is just the same like in the short link that leads to my YouTube channel. You can find it below. It is bit.ly/Mostrovsky. And if you want to improve your chess, I just offer you to subscribe to my channel. You will find a lot of interesting and instructive materials there. Also follow me on Twitter because it is the best way to be notified in time about my live streams, new videos, and any other sorts of chess activity. And another interesting thing is to follow me on Twitch, because I started doing some interesting streams for chess.com, and I use Twitch channel for that. It is twitch.tv/Mostrovsky. You can also find all these links below. And now let's just start playing. It is a Monday edition, which means different sorts of experiments. Today I'm going to experiment with A and B pawns, maybe with H and G pawns. So you can expect something like A3, B4 or H3, G4, and the same with black. So be careful. All right, I can see Surit Kumar, Artur Navarovsky, Kramnik student, and other guys already in live chat. I'm really happy that you are there. Just let me know if everything is okay with the sound and the picture, and we will start playing right now. So, Melody Marathon, Kramnik student, and Surit. So let's start with Melody Marathon. And I'm playing with white, so let's play A3. Just as I promised. A-B testing, so A3, B4. Let's go. A5, undermining the pawn already. Well, not a bad idea, right? I'll play B5, just grabbing some space. So basically my idea here is to grab some space on the queen side to bring my bishop to b2 to occupy this long diagonal, just like here. Now let's see, how can we use this pin along a1, h8 diagonal? Probably I can try even e4 move, because the knight is pinned. Why not, to occupy the center here? Okay, d6 stopping me from playing e5. But this actually doesn't stop me from playing bishop to c4. Do I need bishop to c4 move here? I think it will be not that bad prior to playing d3, protecting that pawn. Just occupying active position. Because I have a feeling that sooner or later I will be forced to play d3, protecting my pawn. So I need my bishop on the active position before I did that. So let's keep developing the pieces. Well, already now my pawn is under attack, so let's play d3. I think I can do this. Right? Right. So you can hear my son is playing somewhere around, so some strange sounds in the background are usually the sounds that are produced by my son. So I have two bishops that are quite active, controlling two interesting diagonals, a2, g8 and a1, h8. Especially I like my light script bishop now, exerting pressure on f7. And, well, I appreciate the fact that my b5 pawn actually controls some squares on the queen side. So it can be undermined, I guess, with the help of c6 move at some point. in which case I will probably protect it with the a4, of course, if black doesn't play a4 himself. Alright, knight b6 attacking my bishop. I definitely have to go away, and if I play bishop a2, there is very annoying threat of knight a4 and a possibility for black hands, so I think it's better for me to start with this. Probably waiting for a4. And if black plays a4, then bishop a2. a4 is already engaged, so there is no danger. And my bishop b2 remains here. On the other hand, I have some problems with the b5. I think it also deserved attention just to bring the bishop to d7, attacking my pawn. I'm not sure if I had a good defense. Now I guess I'll just take. And castle. c5. Alright. So what is going on here? Probably black wants to play even c4 if I don't prevent it. So I should probably play something like knight b1 to d2, stopping black from playing c4. Let's do it. If knight takes c4, I just take on g7. I guess it's fine. And bishop e6 probably forces me to exchange this great a2 bishop. So how to do this correctly? That is the question. Just to take on e6, I guess. Yeah, let's take it. I didn't see a better option anyway. Now knight g5 is interesting. Attacking e6 immediately. Or just queen b1 followed by queen a2. That is also an interesting maneuver. I like this idea. So just bringing the queen here, replacing my light squared bishop, right? Now my queen is very active here. Attacking e6. d5. Double-edged decision, I would say. So on the other hand, quite natural idea in the sense of protecting e6 pawn. Rook b7. Alright, so now just to occupy the b file or to play knight to g5, what is better? I guess I will start with rook b1 move. Exerting some pressure here, and of course e6 remains my target here. When I attack it with the knight g5 most likely. There are also some vulnerable spots in black's camp in addition to those knight b6 and pawn e6. For example, pawn c5 may be my target very soon. Okay, now just to take on g7, or yeah, I guess I will take it. Alright, and now rook b5 looks very natural. Just attacking c5 and preparing another rook to b1. So b file becomes quite interesting to play along this pin, maybe even decisive. So we will see. The knight can't move, by the way. So maybe I will even triple my heavy pieces along the b file. The question is, Andre accepting challenges or doing something else? Yes, I do accept challenges. So please challenge me for a 5-minute game. Alright, queen b6 protecting the knight. And now I should most likely just play rook b2 and queen b1, right? This looks the most natural way to exert pressure on this knight b6. So only 1 minute on the clock, but position looks very promising. Very, very, very promising position. This knight on g7 is quite misplaced. Now it gets closer, so I have to be careful. Knight c7 is coming. So how to play this? d4 or e5? Let's play d4. Creating a threat of d takes c5. So if knight c7, I just take on c5, attacking the queen and the knight on b6. Alright, c4. Let's play this. And this. Yeah. That is not what I expected, actually. But also quite interesting. Yeah, should be winning. Should be winning now. Too many checkmating options. One of them is this knight takes e6. Alright, not bad for the start. Not bad for the start. Very interesting game. So a3, knight f6, b4, a5. Alright, if you want to undermine this pawn, I guess it's better to use your c7 pawn. Not exactly in this position, but in general, in my opinion. But okay, a5 is also quite interesting. But I think you should have been consistent. So just play c6 here. Keeping playing against this b5. That was quite interesting thing connected with queen b6 then and so forth. g6 is also okay, but after bishop b2 and bishop g7, as we may notice, I just occupy the center and have very comfortable position. So now I have a threat of e5, I have very simple development of my pieces, and so on. So all this was correct though. Here, as we may notice, I have some problems with the b5 because this great a4 move helped black to actually separate my a3 and b5 pawns. So the natural follow-up was actually not to undermine this pawn here, but to attack this pawn. So for example, bishop d7 looked very, very natural follow-up. And I'm not sure what to do with this pawn, because if I play c4, look at this bishop on a2. It's really ugly. Probably c4 is the only way to save this pawn, because if I play something like knight c3, you can just go away with your knight somewhere. I don't know which is the best place, but probably just knight e8. Now bishop b5 is again a threat, because my bishop on b2 is not protected. And even if I protect the bishop, in many cases you have a chance to take my knight and to take the pawn on b5, and you have also additional possibility to bring the rook to a5, which is also quite annoying. After c6, I feel very comfortable. I just take, I complete development of my pieces, and now, well, everything looks more or less fine for black, but there is a problem with the pawn structure. So white has no weaknesses here, and black has one on e6, which is actually quite annoying thing for black. And after I found one more weakness, it is the b file and actually the knight on b6. Which is completely limited, and rook on b7, which is not protected, my position became quite good. So after d4, c4, e5, queen c6, all this was more or less forced, I guess. Here I just played h4, so it was time to open up the king side, because look, after this exchange on e6, there is also one more drawback. So this pawns h7 and g6 are very vulnerable to this sort of attack, h4, h5. So all the pieces are actually pinned to the queen side in black's camp, and I have a free access to the king side here. So it was just a question of time to get to the king, something like that. All right, so giving up g7 bishop for a pawn when white hasn't castled means h4 attack is possible. Sounds risky. G7, bishop for a pawn. Was there a possibility to do that? It was probably said about this line after bishop d7, knight c3, and knight to e8. Yeah, so probably you're right, Gromnik students. So probably it's not that clear. But okay, maybe black has other options. For example, here instead of knight e8, something like rook a5, just attacking the pawn again. And I'm not sure I have a chance to protect it. That's what I mean. So in this case, I think I just lose a pawn next move. So most likely c4 is a way to protect it. But look, after that, my bishop is just very ugly. That's the problem. All right. Yeah. Let's continue. The next is Surit. I'm playing with black. And the same, but with black, which is of course quite risky. But well, we'll try to do everything to make it work. Bishop b7 attacking e4. And now, I have several options. Let's try this one. Also a risky thing. Oh, dc5 I think was the most natural way of reacting to this. Because now I have different options, including just e6 move. c4 deserves attention, by the way. Simple queen to c7 also looks playable with the idea of c4. Let's try queen c7 here. cd4 was also an interesting way to transpose to some Sicilian positions. d5. Okay, let's play c4. To separate pawns c2 and d5, and next move will be of course e6, undermining this d5 pawn. So now I have some counterplay against white's central pawns, but I have to be very careful not to be squeezed after something like d6. In this case, I think I will just take with the bishop, and I'm still in the game. But this all looks very, very suspicious. Andre, will you stream the League Chess Title Player Arena with cash prizes? So I will definitely play there. Well, I will try to make it happen, but I'm not sure if I'm going to stream it. Most likely yes, of course. It is something worth streaming, I guess. So it feels like e5 just dropped the pawn for nothing, so there is no compensation. Now I can play c3, come on. Serious mistake from white. Well, maybe c3 wasn't that necessary. Most likely simple bishop e7 was also possible. Another interesting idea was to bring the bishop to b4 to limit the activity of white's pieces, and if white plays something like c3, then to go away to e7, so that the bishop on b2 will be completely limited with own pawns, and this c4 still limits the activity of the bishop. But in that case, there could be some problems with my own c4 pawn. All right, so this also looks not bad. Now, in addition to bishop e7, I think I can occupy a more active position on c5. On the other hand, I guess there are some problems with the knight g5, bishop g5 thing, so maybe it makes sense to start with h6, just controlling this square, and only then to get back to bishop e7 or bishop c5 development. Okay, queen d3. My pawn on c3 isn't hanging at the moment, so I can just play bishop e7, I guess. At some point I will play something like a5, bishop a6, maybe. Knight to a3. Let's castle. So now knight c6 is very tempting, just to exert additional pressure on e5 to create a threat of knight b4, and also a5 preparing bishop to a6. Well, I prefer a development move, so let's put the knight on c6. d6 may be a problem for me. I mean, this square is quite weakened, but my bishop is still here on e7, so I control this square sufficiently. By the way, it was another idea behind playing h6, because if I don't have a pawn on h6, white has typical idea to bring the bishop c1 to g5, to exchange my dark squared bishop, and then this knight gets to d6. So positionally not very good for black. Maybe not immediately, not that straightforward, but in general, it's a typical thing when you have this hole on d6. Have to be careful about bishop g5. Alright, now let's play a5, I guess. There is also an interesting idea just to play knight to a5, exchange this knight, and continue with the converting of the extra pawn, but a5 is slightly more active in my opinion. I can bring my bishop to a6, pinning that knight, and maybe even get into e5 pawn. So something like this looks very good. Yeah, I like my position, so this pawn c3 seriously limits this guy. So white has big problems with activating the dark squared bishop. This knight on d5 actually limits it seriously, so it controls f4, e3 squares. And of course extra pawn makes my position very attractive. Now something like f5 looks very good. It will help me to get rid of that e5 pawn. Because if I don't attack the queen right now, there is something like bishop to d3, potentially annoying, so let's solve this problem immediately. Knight takes, also tempo move. But what I underestimated here is actually queen g6 possibility. So I thought I would have very simple d5 move attacking the knight and the bishop on e2 is hanging, but there are some annoying things connected with the bishop takes h6. But okay, they are not possible, of course, after queen h4. I guess queen h4 is another mistake. Now I can play just d5. The knight is attacked, bishop on e2 isn't protected. And my bishop is here, just to attack all this. Alright, bishop takes h6. Well, I don't care. Let's take the knight. So extra minor piece now. Two minor pieces. Let's take it as well. And into f7, I think. Safe square, no checks. Because this square was controlled. Well, it's simple now. 3 extra minor pieces. And I can bet this pawn c3 will become a queen. If nothing else. Rook d7. All right, let's go back to d4. If rook takes d4, then I play c2, rook takes c4, rook c8, and my pawn promotes. That was the idea. All right, so e4, a6, b5, d4, that was okay. But b3 is, well, I don't think it is the best reaction to c5. I guess d takes c5, this greedy thing, was actually the best one here. Because I am not sure I have a simple way to win this pawn back, actually. So if I attack it, I can even play something like b4. And if I play a5, just c3. Come on. So it feels like the extra pawn or something. So if knight c6, then something like bishop d2, just protecting the pawn. And, well, maybe black has some counterplay, but come on, it's not serious. So white is much better here. b5 is heading, and so forth. All right, knight takes d7 was also possible by the end, right? Okay. In any case, I had already 3 extra minor pieces. Come on, forgive me this. Knight takes d7. I wanted actually to promote my pawn. Okay, so d takes c5. So c5 was a bluff. b3, okay, now I protected. Still dc5, by the way, deserved attention. Because if I take with the queen, you can continue with the bishop a3 development. Not a very standard one, but very interesting. And if I play b4, you come back to b2 with the bishop, and, well, all of a sudden you have very nice pieces placement here. Bishops are potentially very good. The one on b2 is already good. And this b4 will be your target. So you will undermine this pawn, which will be very helpful because black is definitely having some problems with the development. So you want to open up a position. Something like that. So instead of playing queen c7, I guess the best move for me was to take on d4 or to play e6 at least. And very soon we will have something very similar to Sicilian. So queen c7, okay, d5. I guess also not bad, but dc5 in my opinion is better because in this case you actually try to exploit my disadvantage in development. I played c4, bc4, bishop went to e2, I played e6. That was quite risky for me, but I guess, well, I have just enough chances to equalize it. So I was probably only afraid of this d6 move, because in this case, if I take with the queen, you just take and play e5. If I take on f3, you take on f3, but I take on e5 here. Wow, nice. That is what I didn't see. So bishop takes a8, bishop takes a1, and everything is more or less fine. So you can limit my bishop on a1, but I can also limit your bishop here with the help of d5. And yes, you have this b2 square, b7, sorry, square, but your bishop can't go away anyway. So I control a lot with this knight b8. And then I will bring my king to d7 and so forth. Very interesting line, by the way. So after d6, I could have captured with the queen. With the bishop was also more or less fine. All right, but e5 is definitely the start of your great problem. So just take on d5, I have extra pawn and you don't have compensation. So now my knight on d5 actually covers everything. So I think you felt that during the game because white simply had less space because of this knight on d5. So it really controls a lot, really controls everything. After queen d3, by the way, I missed the chance to play knight b4, which possible. Intended to grab the pawn on c2. If white takes on c3, I just exchange queens and take on c2. But I think it wasn't necessary. I just can complete a development where after, well, black simply has extra pawn and better position. All right, let's go further. Crowning student is here, which will be very, very, very hard for me to play because crowding student is very strong and I just play bullshit. This a3, b4. But come on, I can do nothing about it because it is the Monday edition, right? Okay, e5, f6, very natural approach. very, very good. Just limiting my bishop already. So let's try to undermine the center. For example, this way. Let's keep exerting pressure on this pawn. 97. Potentially I can try something like queen h5, check g6, queen h6, but then knight goes to f5, I achieve nothing, absolutely. So it makes no sense, most likely. If I play d4... Oh, I can play d4 here. That's an interesting thing. No. With the king on e1, it's not interesting. So I was about to do this. d4, e4 takes on d5 several times. Queen h5 check takes on d5, but there is bishop b4 check by the end of the line. And my queen on d5 drops. Sorry. Sorry. So what to do? Just to continue with the development, or to take on d5 to play queen b3, or to take on d5 and to play knight b5? That is an interesting idea, so let's try it. So cd5, knight b5 is possible, just grabbing the bishop. Sort of achievement. Let's go. I love bishops, you know that. Okay. I won't hurry up with taking on d6 because anyway this bishop doesn't go away. Let's keep developing my pieces. a5, undermining the pawn already. So let's grab the bishop and play b5, stopping the knight from getting to c6. Of course this knight will have a nice square on c5, but it is not as great as c6. There it will be vulnerable. Bishop g4. Okay, let's ask this bishop. Maybe he wants to take on f3 simply. No. Alright. Let's go a4. Since black didn't play a4 himself, I think this a3 square for my bishop will be quite good. Just like this. Because, well, here it is much better at the moment than on b2, right? Knight c5 wasn't possible because of d4, I guess. Okay, so what to do now? Knight d4 looks very interesting, just to exchange queens with some dividends, or just to grab h5 bishop. I don't know if it is very sound, but looks nice. Although I have some problems with the development after that, very serious ones. But let's try it. It's just so tempting. It's just so tempting. Queen f7 deserved attention, by the way. And now, with the f pawn or with the d pawn? No, with the d pawn will be very risky. Of course, will be interesting at the same time, but very, very risky. My goodness. No. Which one is better? Which one is better? Let's take with the f-pawn. So pair of bishops against pair of knights. Interesting position, isn't it? Okay, knight b6, very calm move, just protecting d5 pawn, right? So let's keep developing my pieces, just attacking h7 now. So maybe this move? Don't know. Also looks interesting. Double-edged, but interesting. Attacking the queen now. If queen takes, pawn takes, knight e7 is hanging, position becomes more and more open, which is my goal, because I have pair of bishops. And now I start dreaming of this bishop c5, bishop d4 maneuver at some point. Just consolidating everything there. If f5, then queen goes to d4. Oh, that will be just gorgeous position for my queen. Controlling just everything in this position. I think that, in fact, knight b6 was too modest in such a situation. That's why I love bishops. It usually starts with something not very clear, so it looks even better for your opponent, but then when you manage actually to prevent the counterplay, to consolidate your position, well, bishops start actually just tearing opponent apart. Okay, queen e5. Alright, what's the point? Just to grab my rook on a1, I understand. But what if I just castle here? I guess I can do it. Simple castling. Mick says, I prefer black, take the queen. Well, that day when you will start preferring white in such a situation, you will be a much better player. You will be a master. So, I think now white has a clear advantage. So queen to h4. Yeah, queen to h4. Of course, now I want to keep my queen on the board. Knight on e7 is under attack. Rook here, now bishop to c5. Attacking the knight b6. And my bishop gets to d4. Yeah. It's very close to winning the game, in fact. Having these strong bishops and this very bad knights, having no strong points, having no outposts whatsoever. So what I have to do here is just to open up a position and I will be winning. And this, I guess, should be just winning immediately or very close to. Well, at least extra pawn is here. Yeah, maybe not. What I wanted to do, I wanted to actually come up with a checkmate in attack, but okay, this is also not bad. Just extra pawn. And the bishop against the knight. Knight here, okay. Right. That was not that clever for me to allow this knight to d3. But it's just because the time on the clock becomes lower and lower. Right, let's limit this guy. More and more. Knight goes to g4, I guess. Yeah, let's meet it here with a c4 move. Okay, I won on time, but position was also winning. All right. All right. Why is your name Mostrovsky? It's like Master Ostrovsky. Ostrovsky is my surname and M is like master. And by the way, I have a website, which is also mostrovsky.com. It's kind of universal name because even if I become grandmaster, well, it's actually just a big master, so still a master. So I will not change the name of the website. All right. Okay. Yeah, very interesting game. Very, very interesting game. So I think Black was very, very close to achieving a very decent position. So this approach with f6, I just like it. I really like it. The only thing here, I guess, bishop d6 is, well, it's okay. It's playable. But I guess Black has a better way to play this position. First of all, very interesting just to play c6 here, in fact. Just having this interesting box. e5, d5, c6, f6. Very solid position. So Black is ready to any sort of undermining moves. Why I like this more, because if White plays just like I played, then Black has a flexibility. So it's even possible to continue with something like this. Bishop e6, then queen d7. And at some point, Black can even castle long. Well, maybe not very realistic, but this possibility still exists. Not sure. I can't really explain why I prefer this development to this bishop d6 move. I just think that it's not clear where to put this bishop, in fact. So it really depends on the pawn structure that will appear soon on the board. And everything depends on which sort of play White chooses here. So let's say, yeah, bishop d6. It makes just d5 pawn slightly more vulnerable and damages the control of the queen that has this guy on d8 at the moment. So control the d file better and so forth. Maybe it's still okay. I guess there is no big difference, but yeah, it's just a feeling. I don't know. So c4, c6, knight to c3. And that is why actually I don't really like all this, because yeah, I have this possibility. And if bishop is still on f8, I don't have this possibility. That's my idea. So, don't know. After knight e7, by the way, I was calculating this as well. d4, and if e4, cd5, cd5, knight e5, knight e5, queen h5, but after g6, queen takes here, bishop takes b4, Black wins. It's a typical thing from the French defense. And here we definitely have a French defense reversed. And if I don't have this knight takes d5, of course, my bishop on b2 becomes just a piece of crap. That's why I didn't play that. So I played this immediately, played knight to b5, castles, knight f3, and I don't like a5, honestly. So I think that knight c6 was okay. With the threat of bishop b8 and my knight on b5 will be stupid, so knight c6 forces me to take. Queen takes d6. And now if I play b5, I just play knight a5 and knight will get to c4 sooner or later. So you just prefer developing moves to pawn moves. I guess it's better for Black than what you played. Because a5 is actually the move that weakens a lot, but what is really important after b5, your knights don't have clear perspectives. So my bishops become more and more powerful long term here. Because usually what is the advantage of pair of bishops, right? So having pair of bishops isn't equal to having the advantage already. So everything depends on what kind of knight your opponent has. And if this knight has great strong point, then probably you don't even have the advantage. So here after b5, I actually managed to limit your knights, and it becomes harder and harder for you to find these good squares for your knights. So yeah, here I guess you should have played something like a4. I like this move, at least stopping me from playing a4, but here I still have the possibility to bring my bishop to a better diagonal with the help of this maneuver, so maybe it didn't help you a lot. So bishop g4, all right, h3, bishop here, now a4, knight to d7, bishop to a3. And after queen e6, by the way, computer doesn't like my knight d4, maybe because of queen to f7. Yeah, knight d4 was a bluff again. So bishop e2 is a normal move, completing development, and then only then thinking of actually improving the position. So knight d4, queen f7, I like that move, but e d4, it says also okay, queen h5, d3, f3. Yeah, and here he says knight e5. Yes, true. Knight e5 is much better because this prevents me from playing bishop to d3 at least. And, well, that is exactly what I was talking about. So now your knights are not that bad. You have strong points, you have concrete perspectives. So probably here you made a serious mistake. So knight b6, this gave me a very important tempo. And after that, I'm already much better. So queen g4, which Mick suggested, h takes g4, leads to very pleasant ending for white. So a lot of weaknesses, and my bishops are potentially very, very strong. So I will play just like in our game, but the only difference would no longer have queens on the board, but it's still a problem for black, especially for this knight e7 to find good squares. So f5 is controlled, c6 is controlled, so this knight is very passive. I just bring my bishop to d4 through c5, just like this. And, well, I'll have very pleasant position. After queen e5, I think I'm even better. So queen h4, rook e8. I played bishop to c5, knight c4, bishop c4, okay. And here, yes, I just took the pawn. And bishop d4 was much better, just playing for a checkmate. I took on c4 and only then actually realized that you have queen d5. I didn't see this move. I mean, I underestimated this move. I thought, okay, I take then bishop d4 and I win, but bishop d4 was much better. Of course, just creating a threat of a checkmate, opening the position very, very quickly, and that's it. Game over. So here I have only one bishop, but again, it's much better than this knight. With this open position on the king side, it will be over very soon. So we'll play g4 and so forth. Okay. So instead of knight e4, I thought knight g5. At which moment, by the end probably, I wanted to try exploiting king in the center with maybe a pawn sack, but position didn't allow. You mean this endgame? Yeah, I definitely misplayed it. So rook c8, rook c1, knight b4. Here I just played this awful move, bishop to c3. That is just a complete bullshit. Probably if I wanted to attack a5 pawn, I should have played something like bishop b6, but not bishop c3. As we may notice, here is knight a2 as well, but knight d3 was also okay. Now rook b1, rook c4. So I started just playing awful moves. So here I guess black already has a serious compensation. And maybe somewhere you even had chances, right? Bishop b4, another mistake. Knight g3, king f3, knight e4. Yeah, h4. Rook to a4. Yeah, this position no longer looks very good for white. Knight g4, e4, and yeah, here you lost in time. But okay, it doesn't really matter what happened in this ending. What is really important is what happened in the opening and then in the middle game and the evaluation of that position with pair of bishops. All right, now I think you understand it better. So what should you do if you have knights against bishops? So you need strong points. If you don't have strong points, you're worse. All right, let's go further. Let's play Simba. Let's play Simba and the same a3 and so forth. b4. By the way, guys, if you want to support me and my channel, you can do a lot of things. Just read the description to this video and you'll understand what to do. So knight d7, protecting the pawn this way. Well, also interesting thing. Let's play the same way, just e3, preparing c4. Knight d7 has the drawback because again, it just covers the queen. And, well, black no longer controls d4 that good. So I can play probably c4 without big problems. That's the point here. Well, maybe I don't achieve a lot with this, but it's no longer that awful if compared to what can happen after a3 and b4 in general. All right. But maybe Simba prepared something, I don't know. We'll see. Castles. Let's castle as well. I guess I badly need d2, d4 move here. At some point, if black allows, maybe next move. No, black doesn't allow me to do that. So again, bishop b3, I think. Because if bishop a2, then knight jumps to a4. Really annoying thing. And now d4 leads to e4. I don't like it. So maybe we will start with this move, just completing development. And if black plays e4, then we will undermine this pawn at some point. Not sure if it is realistic, of course. So there are some problems with implementing that plan. Okay. Now after exchange of light squared bishops, there will be a problem with light squares. So I think it's time to play a4 actually, to prevent black from playing a4 and controlling b3 square. But knight goes to c4, that is another threat that should be considered here. Well, let's say a4, knight c4, I take, bishop takes, d3, forcing the bishop back to e6. Then I play e4, and actually I have all the pawns on light squares, almost all pawns, limiting that bishop. Is that good or not for me? That's a good question. I'm not sure. On the other hand, if I play d3 here, just having this Sicilian position, bishop b3, queen b3, a4, queen c2. Also not clear. But okay, I prefer d3 in fact. So I don't like the idea of giving black a chance to jump to c4 with the knight. Let's prevent it simply. Azurmis says a3 is mean. a3 is a3, come on, not more than that. Just preparing b4. Knight e7. I'm curious if anybody will play some like, I don't know, a5 against a3, just stopping me from that. Okay, now I guess a4 looks good. So I'm gradually just putting pawns on light squares, which is quite good. Because I no longer have the light square bishop, so I have to compensate it somehow. Now we have this Sicilian position. Should I play d4 now? Or just rook to d1? I guess I'm not that prepared for d4. Queen to b3, is it a threat or not? So maybe it's better for me just to start with rook to c1 move. Huh, interesting position. So what if I play d4? If knight goes to b3, I'm fine. But if queen jumps to b3, what is there? What's going on there? Not quite sure. No, I don't want to play d4. Ugh. This is a hard position to understand. Okay, let's start with this move. I don't think it's bad. I just protect d3 pawn additionally and maybe just make this d4 threat more dangerous. Andre time management. Yes, I have only 1 minute. That's bad. Have to be faster now. A4 is hanging, so I have to take this. And rook should go to A2, but yeah, I don't have a better one. Because if it goes to, let's say, B1, then knight goes to C5 and A4 is hanging. Yeah, so this is not what I wanted to achieve here. Alright, now I have serious problems. My rook on A2 is misplaced. That's the biggest problem, I guess. Simply misplaced. Very, very bad position for the rook. But maybe I will regain that A5 pawn, who knows. Maybe I will be lucky enough to do that. For example, right now. Okay, that's fine. That is fine. I have a better pawn structure. And the rook ending is better, and I think the king and pawn ending should be just winning. So let's go there and punish black for this shit. There was play on time, I guess. So my opponent just forget about principles and started playing on my time. Which means I have some chances now. No, I just misplayed it. Sorry. I just misplayed it. Seriously. I've just misplayed it. Yeah. Very PT. Okay. Interesting position, isn't it? So maybe there is a pawn breakthrough. I don't know. But I have only 13 seconds. Yeah, there is a pawn breakthrough there. Okay, just winning now. Right, man, it's a draw. Come on. Yeah, very PT. Very, very PT. Yeah. Thanks a lot for this game. I think I was winning. I think I was winning somewhere. Several times, by the way. So rook d6, rook takes b6. Yeah, maybe rook d6 wasn't that great. Yeah, rook d7 was much better. Come on. I win 2 pawns with the help of this. Or at least black moves the rook to b8. I mean, in this case, I just take this and win 2 pawns. My goodness. Yeah, it was much better. So I think if black doesn't want to lose that pawn, he has to play this. But now, after this, I think it's better for me than that. Or maybe no, because there is still this king e7, king d7, king c7. Okay, rook d6 was completely alright. So king here, rook takes, rook c7. So here I should have played the other way. Alright, so black's plan is very good. So to bring the king to c8 and then the rook becomes active. So most likely I should have played rook d6 just right now. So my intention here is just to play rook to d5 to protect this pawn. Again, I can't do these arrows because maybe I have some problems with my mouse. So rook d5, protecting b5, and then supporting that rook with the e4. It will be just the ideal position. And then gradually rolling my pawns supported by the king and so forth. Because I kind of didn't realize that black has this simple plan. Okay, until this moment everything was okay. But maybe already here I have some problems. Yeah, here rook d6 again. If rook c5, just b6, and king can't go to c7, it is even better than what was suggested, connected with the rook d5. But well, here something like this may be unclear. Rook c6. So rook c6, bc6. I don't know what is that. So should be analyzed, should be calculated. All right, maybe white is still having some chances, but yeah. After rook c5, black is just better. So now king c7, I don't think it was a good move. Just rook takes b5 immediately was, in my opinion, just better. All right. And here he suggests just taking on g5. Yeah, most likely after rook g5, black simply has much better pawn structure. So maybe king c7 is all right. Yeah, and here position is just a draw. And rook c4, he still says it's a draw. King d6, king e3, king c5, f5. And f6 gives me the advantage, he says, plus 53. Can you imagine this? 53. What is that? I don't understand this evaluation. So g6, I played. Now he says, okay, plus 11 only. H takes g6, f g6. Where I did my mistake. So f5, h6 is still good. Oh, here I forgot to take on f5. My goodness. Yeah, just takes on f5 first. Oh, I just hallucinated. So I thought after g7, which I played, I will just take protecting the pawn on g7. My god. Yeah. And here I took on f5, which is also losing after h5 instead of that. I'm just not in time to stop the pawns. All right. That is amazing. Yeah, just a tragedy by the end. Of course, we didn't have enough time to make normal decisions, but still, yeah, just a shame. All right. And somewhere there in the middle game, I think I made a mistake. Yeah, black played perfectly, in fact. This strategy, light square strategy, was very, very good. So somewhere here I made my mistake. Maybe, I don't know, a4. It's probably not that bad. Somewhere here. I guess d4 immediately should have been played. But still queen b3 was really annoying. Yeah, black was playing good in this game. Thanks a lot for this. Let's go further. Bryce Rogers, accept. Yeah, fantastic game. Very, very exciting. Very interesting. Oh, what am I doing? a6, of course. Bishop to d3, bishop to b7. All right. Sorry, you have to delete some nonsense in chat. That was for the first time, you know. Azurmis says that it was better than North Korean chess. Yeah, there was a great discussion on North Korean chess yesterday. Probably, yeah, probably this suggestion was better, but still, I think it has nothing to do with our goals and so forth. Okay, Peter Castle says, I would love to be banned from this chat. All right. Peter, you have to deserve it first. So let's play 6. Get back to the game. Castles. So same strategy, I guess. It worked not that bad during all previous games. Sorry. Let's just undermine. The center, so c3. Okay, now let's continue developing pieces. Okay, so what is going on here? I counterattack in the center. Try to exert some pressure on e4, d4. So d4 is attacked by my pawn. On e4, I just exert pressure with the minor piece. With 2 minor pieces, by the way, with the bishop and with the knight as well. Okay, so let's play h6. Because if I play bishop e7, there is e5. And what I want to do is to get a pair of bishops again. Nice. So this AB thing works not that bad, I should admit. Now let's go back simply, because I want to play bishop e7, where after e5 actually makes my queen slightly misplaced there. Moreover, e5 followed by knight e4 is something potentially annoying, so it's better to have the queen here to support, let's say, d6 or d5 moves after that, I think. Andrea looking at chat repeatedly to see another similar message. Not really. I'm more interested in your comments, and maybe you say something funny or wise, let's say. I'm also learning with you. So knight g3, very natural thing, but I guess now I have an interesting option of just kicking this guy away. So if knight takes on h5, then queen h4, and why I actually started thinking of playing h5, because knight to h5 was potentially very annoying thing. So I wanted to prevent this knight h5 somehow. So my first intention was to play, of course, bishop to e7, but then knight h5 stopped me from that, just attacking my g7, forcing some weakening, and so on. All right, let's keep doing this. nh3. So yesterday when I was playing against Simba, I did the same on the queen side. So I played a5, a4, a3, and then at some point that a3 pawn became a passed pawn. So here I want to do the same with the h pawn, but my pawn doesn't give me a chance to do that. So now I think it's better just to stick to h takes g3. Oh, sorry, h takes g2. Yeah, I'll take it. Damaging the pawn structure. Still not developed, but I would say that this h5, h4, h3, h takes g2 actually developed my rook. So my rook on h8 works from the initial position, so I don't even need to change the position of that guy. So now queen h4 looks interesting. Transformation. I think the endgame will be quite good for me. But maybe there is a better chance just to keep queens on the board. Because potentially there may be even the attacking idea. Because my bishops that are not that active at the moment may become very, very good very soon. After d5, I just play knight e5. Attacking the queen and the bishop on d3. So that was probably what my opponent missed. This forces queen e2. I can't see any other move. And now I can just play queen to h4, I think. There is no knight f3, there is no knight f1, so I get to h2 pawn. Smells like a checkmate very soon. Very nice coordination of black's pieces, by the way. The knight controls f3, pawn controls f1, so there is no chance to save this pawn. So d5 was a mistake, a decisive one. Sarit goes away. Well, it's pity, but alright, I understand you have to go, so see you. See you. Yeah, so I just get to h2 and that's it. So the problem was clear. White just underestimated my play on the king side. Forgot about actually black's counter chances here. I guess it's not necessary for white to play something like knight g3 here. It's much more interesting just to try to just grab the space. To play something like f4 in fact. So f4 followed by f5. That should be the plan. That should be your play. Because I have some problems with the development. I'm not that in time to actually complete the development that quickly to prevent all this play. I mean, so my pieces are not coordinated to meet this play. Yeah, so that was interesting. Knight g3 is definitely not that cool. So h5 or q1, h4, h3. Yeah, and now of course g3 should have been played, which I think completely okay for black. So black has some perspectives on this diagonal. This is a long-term problem for you, but position remains more or less balanced because, well, after queen g4, just take the pawn, and your pawn structure is just a mess. And d5 is a decisive mistake. So now I just get to h2 and it's lost. All right, let's go further. Let's play whom? Let's play Miktal. Here we go. White pieces, a3. Hello, you play viewers? Yes, I do. You're welcome to challenge. e5, b4. So show me attack in chess, Mr. Tal. d5, all right. Everything is more or less standard here. f6, continuing with the move that Kramnik student played against me, but 97. Now it's sort of improvement, maybe, maybe not. We will see. So let's undermine d5. c6, just protecting it. Okay. Let's keep developing the pieces. Bishop e6. So far, it looks quite decent. So should I protect c4? I guess, yeah, just a direct attack. Just a direct attack. Let's protect it. Now it's interesting how black is going to complete his development. Knight to d7. Okay. So the knight will probably just go to g6 at very least. But after knight e7 and knight e7, I guess I can play knight to c3, right? So this also sort of the way for me to complete my development. Because if d5 takes c4, there is something like knight e4. Potentially quite interesting. But knight b6, very solid. Very solid play. Don't know what to do with all this solid army. It's knight to d7, okay. Want to come up with a breakthrough, but don't see where. What if I just play bishop d3 and if e4 sacrifice a piece? Could it be something interesting? Questionable. But let's try it. Just the experiment. After all, we have a Monday edition here. Come on, grab my piece. Play e4. By the way, I can play knight d4, even not sacrificing the piece. ed3, knight e6, dc... No, it's still a sacrifice. Sorry. Didn't see that coming. So I have a choice between taking on e4 with the bishop and taking on e4 with the knight. If I take with the bishop, d takes e4, knight e4, there is a sort of knight e6. But it's not that hard to prevent that threat. Okay, I'll keep my bishop on the board. So I have 2 pawns only, but black has some problems with the development. So these knights are ugly. d7 and e7. But maybe I overestimate my chances. Let's castle first. Now I have this square. I want to occupy it with my knights. Or just to bring my pawns to motion, just like d4, e4, d5, and so forth. King f7. Okay, now I definitely have a compensation. So at very least, my opponent's king is struggling, right? No castling. No castling anymore. So now I guess just e4, limiting the activity of this knight to start with, preventing knight d5. And preparing this simple plan, e4, d4, d5. Let's go. I think I don't have to invent anything else. So just e4, d4, rook e1, rook d1, d5, e5, and so forth. And this king on e8 will be suffering for the rest of the game, like my position. Queen e7. Okay, it would be nice, of course, to castle alone, but it's not possible. So d5, knight e5, knight e5. You know, let's start with this move. King d8. Another rook to d1. And now d5. So I think I'm winning simply. It's already lost. Black failed to complete the development and coordinate his pieces. So this rook's on a8 and h8 and this bishop on f8. All these guys don't play. It's over. So d6 check. d6 check. Or knight takes e5 first. Or bishop takes e5. I don't know. d6 king goes where? To c8 most likely. And then d takes e7. Yeah, just d6. Wins. And takes e7. Creating a threat of e8 queen. Followed by rook d7 checkmate. Here we go. Okay. So let's see. Let's see this position after this sack. So bishop takes e4. First of all, I don't think that it was necessary to exchange the bishop here. I guess something like g6 deserved attention, but after g6 you have to be ready for something like that. But it can be also just, well, a one move threat, not more than that. So g6 followed by bishop g7. That's what I would have considered here. So keeping all these pieces because they are potentially good defenders of your king. Something like that. But here I have some resources, of course, based on like h4, h5, and so forth. Don't know what can be done. Alternatively, just queen to c7, in fact, and castling long. That was also probably the best move here. So queen c7, let's say I just play something like, I don't know, bishop takes h7, not very sound, but maybe. And you just castle. Well, at least your king is fine, and then you just complete your development. I think your minor piece will be better than my 3 pawns, even here. So you can think of f5, but there is knight g5. So queen c7, I think, the easiest way. So bishop d5 was also not that bad. But after castling, okay, again, queen c7 followed by castling, but not this, because now it's already a problem because I can bring my knight to d4 and to e6. So some chances at least. And after king f7, I'm already better. In my opinion, I just start rolling my pawns and black doesn't have a clear way to play against it, right? So I was very, very lucky in this game, but anyway, it was interesting, right? Let's go further. Let's play whom? Let's play whom? Here is 89. Let's play this guy. A3. B4. So the same. .97. All right. So just like Simba played, I guess. No, bishop d6. Slightly different thing, or maybe just, well, more or less the same, right? So if compared to what we had with Kramnik student, okay, the knight is already on d7, so if I take on d5 and play knight b5, the bishop goes to b8. So if I want to have that possibility, maybe I should bring my heavy pieces on the c file. So to play something like queen c2, rook c1, and then cd5, cd5, knight b5 becomes an interesting idea because my knight gets to c7 and I finally grab the bishop. castles. Alright, everything is very logical here. I mean, what black does. And now I can try potentially this cd5, cd5, knight b5, bishop goes to b8, rook goes to c1, preparing knight c7. Does it work? I guess it should work. Oh no, it was stupid because knight goes to c6 simply. Yeah, that was very stupid what I did here. Just knight c6 and what all these pieces are doing there. But a6 actually helps me to justify my ideas. So knight c7. Or maybe after that rook goes to a7 and I lose a piece there. Oh. I don't know. Maybe knight c7 not even a threat here. Wow. There can be a big problem for me. Oh my god. Yeah, after knight c7, rook simply goes to a7, and I think the next move will be b5. And my knight is trapped. Oh my god, that is just a disaster. Look, I lost so much time on doing nonsense. Yeah. I'll be surely punished in this game, finally, for this stupid play. Oh. Yeah. That was something. Yeah, by the way, yesterday we discussed with the guys an interesting thing. So, the Reddit resource. So if you use Reddit and you like my videos or streams, just feel free to post on Reddit. Just to actually increase views and hence subscribers of my channel. So let's try to grow my channel. To grow it big. Because the bigger my channel is, the more incentive I have to post more, to publish more. So that's giving you a chance to learn more for free. Right, knight b6. Very natural move, just going somewhere to the normal square, c4 or a4. A lot of interesting possibilities here. Okay. Oh, bishop b2 is just very bad. Just e4 after that. Yeah, black is just beating me, I don't know. This position is very bad for white, I don't like it. But I have to do something to survive it. To try at least. Okay. Knight to c4. Another interesting idea. Just to sacrifice some material for light squares. But maybe it gives me some chances. So I can grab e5, central pawn at least. Let's take it. Yeah, let's take it. Central pawn, very important one. So now I have some chances to survive. Maybe even to win, I don't know. We'll see. What I want to do here is, of course, to exchange this guy. Oh, there is queen g2. Oh my god. What's going on here? No, queen g2, I just take on e7. Come on, let's forget about it. Let's just take that. And now I guess simply castling, preventing queen takes g2. Now I have extra pawn, but some problems still. But I have very nasty threat of knight b6. And now I should win. Because I take on a8, then I get to c4 and so forth. Again, that was a good game before black started blundering. So unfortunately black blundered a lot here. Now I have just extra exchange and pawn in addition to that. Of course black has no chances here. Yeah. But black was close. Black was really close. So now it's just important for me not to blunder something and everything will be fine. Yeah, very nice play. So, especially after... Yeah, this cd5 was just very stupid. If I wanted to implement this, I think I should have played rook to c1 instead. But cd5, knight b5, and bishop here. At very least, after rook c1, black always has knight to c6 covering the c5, but a6 is even better. Because after knight c7 and rook a7, I think I just lose this knight here. Or I'm very close to losing this knight, I don't know. This looks very suspicious. Maybe I underestimated my chances after b5 though. Maybe that was possible. So probably I should have played this knight c7 in fact. Because if b6 I just take on a6. But what if just a5 here? Well, I have b6, knight b6, and knight b5 with some counterplay. No, I don't like this position. I don't understand it completely. So it's messy. Alright, but after knight c3, of course, black is better. So knight b6, knight f3, bishop g4. Very good move. I wanted to play bishop e2 with the idea of knight g5, but e4. Exchanging my light squared bishop, and it's over. Yeah. So... h3, bishop h5, knight a4 here, and knight c4. Knight c4 was too much. I think it was much better for black to do something like knight takes a4 simply. Takes here, and something like d4. This is just an awful position for white. So if I take on d4 here, something like e4, I hate this position. Don't know. Maybe even just ed4 and then rook e8 and something. Maybe even to start with this... But here's something like b5, maybe potentially not very clear. All right, something clever should be played here, like d4. Don't know, but knight c4 maybe also not that bad. And there was a suggestion in chat to play b5, probably here. And yeah, it seriously improves black's position if compared to what happened in the game, but I think I'm still quite fine after simple knight c5 move. So I have extra pawn? Yeah, there is a problem with the d3, but black can't actually exploit this weakness. So if bishop b5, knight e5, at some point I'll just play d2, d3, improving everything, and I'm good. All right. In our game after knight e5, of course, it started becoming worse and worse. So here it was necessary to bring the rook a8 to the game, but still I have this knight b6 threat, and I'm not sure how to prevent it, how to actually protect everything. After that, I'm just winning. Okay, let's go further. Let's go further. Who's here? Let's play Koval. Let's play Koval. a3. I was about to play e4, come on. Something really strange. So I guess if I play f4 here, then after e takes f4, bishop g7, and queen h4, I should be just losing. So let's stick to this. Knight f6. Alright, another approach. It should be also quite playable and normal. What about this? d4 followed by knight e5. Something we didn't play today. Let's try it. So I guess that is the answer. So don't like it. Yeah, 95 gave me nothing, of course. Now I have just a bad French position with a stupid bishop on b2. So most likely that is my only chance to be aggressive on the queen side, just to roll my pawns there and hope that I won't be that easily checkmated on the king side, because I can't see any other counterplay for me. And this a5 was probably not necessary at all. I mean, this gives me some counter chances. Let's take here. Knight a4. Attacking the bishop. And now I will most likely have some chances to get rid of this stupid bishop. So for example, if bishop goes to c7, yeah, and it went to c7, I have bishop c3. Looks very natural thing. So if a b4, I take with the bishop. And I want to take on a5 myself to exchange that bishop, and after that I will have a better position. So most likely this idea with the a5 wasn't very sound. And on b6, which is not surprising because usually you don't have to play on the side where you're not better. What was definitely better on the queen side, having more space there. And black's side to play is the king side. So I do believe that it was much better for black even to place in like knight e8 followed by f5, f4, quickly preparing this attack. Because now it feels like I'm fine. Alright? No, if I castle, I'm not fine. Let's keep the king here for a while. Let's take here instead. Yeah, after this, I'm fine, definitely. So now I can put my knight on c5. And it feels even like a better position for me. If I'm not blundering something serious, I think I'm just better. So now I have better minor pieces. There is no longer this attack along the diagonal b8 h2. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine here. Again, I was very lucky in this game. But that's fine. When you play crappy opening like a3, b4, of course, you need some luck to survive it and to have some winning chances and so forth. Queen a7. Okay, probably I still have some problems, but I think with this great knight on c5, with this blockading position, even if I lose a pawn, I won't be that bad. It feels like I'm losing it, because if I play a4, then after knight d7, I don't see how to protect it. Of course, I can play something passive like queen c1. Still fighting for some material, I don't know. Yeah, probably I'm just fighting for a draw here. But I was very close to actually achieving a better position. I was very, very close. Alright, this actually gives me some time, I guess. Or maybe no. I think I have to take. Yeah, black is just enjoying this attack against a pawn. So do I have a counter play? I think I have something like rook b1, trying to exploit the vulnerability of the back rank. True, my bishop is better, but it's not about bishops here. It's about weaknesses. And my pawn on a3 is much more accessible than the pawn on c6, which is protected with this so-called bad bishop. h6, just protecting the back rank, protecting the king, in fact. So let's try to find some chances there. Oh, just bishop e8, okay. That is also a possibility. I don't understand what to do here. I'm not worse, of course, but there are no objects of attack for me. That's amazing, simply. Simply nothing to attack. Okay, let's wait. Let us wait. Rook there. Okay, let's bring the rook to the open file. Let's protect the pawn a3. Rook c4. Okay. Queen d2. What is going on here? Some active counterplay. Do know. Just a pawn down. The only problem for black is, of course, his bishop. But that is not that big problem. Okay, one on time, but I didn't deserve a win here because black actually outplayed me. The only problem for black was actually to start this play on the queen side. I guess that was absolutely unnecessary thing to play a5, b6 there. So look at this position. White has there's great problems with coordinating his pieces, with completing the development. I do believe it was much better for black to start this active play on the king side, like to play knight to e8. If I play knight c3, alright, this knight, okay, this is a bullshit because of c5, but you can play bishop e6, protecting this pawn. And then you just play f5 and f4, maybe g5, and so forth. That is your plan, actually. That is your side to play. And this only gives me some objects of attack, some possibilities to equalize. So cb6, knight a4, bishop here, bishop c3. I think I was already fine. Probably taking on a5 was premature, but on the other side I didn't want to castle because of queen d6. Maybe I should have played something like knight c5 here, I don't know. Just to start with knight c5 and then to c, maybe to take. Yeah, knight c5 deserves serious attention because I have knight a6 idea. Knight a6 threat, so additional one. A b4, bishop b4. Yeah, I think I'm not that worse already. But this exchange actually gave you very simple play. So to knight c5 and this and queen a7, I think you're better. Because when I play this, just knight d7. And I lose this pawn. Alright, very good game. Very, very good game. So Kramnik student says Mark made his presence felt unusually quiet today. I don't know why it is so, because actually we have the same level set up on my microphone, and he's quite active at the moment. Don't know. Maybe just a coincidence that you can't hear him. Alright, let's play the last game. Let's play the last game. Let's play Last Chance. It's a good tradition. Last game against last chance. All right. So a3. Come on. Game aborted. All right. So let's play somebody else. Let's play somebody else. There is that's probably Last Dance. Okay. Dimitrov Igor. Let's play Dimitrov Igor. And unfortunately I play with black. I wanted to play with white. But okay. E4, A6, the same. And we play slightly different. We play 3+2, which is also acceptable. So some increment can't be bad. Why Last Dance? There is 4. Oh yeah, definitely there is 4. Why the hell I decided that it is like Last Chance? That's probably something, you know, with the psychology. It's definitely not Last Chance. Yeah, stupid. All right. Anyway, Rook e1. So here I decided to make it more typical for French defense after all, but again, it's probably not very good because this bishop on b7 is surely misplaced as for French defense, right? But okay. Do you have a minimal elo to play against viewers? No. No. No minimal elo. No maximal elo as well. So take c5, I think knight c6 gives me a chance to take this pawn. And takes on c5. But white is definitely better here. Just a very good version of French defense, I guess. Of course, if I exchange dark squared bishops, it's double-edged. I mean, white no longer has this great attacking piece, but dark squares become just a mess in my position. But I just don't want to lose the time and moving this bishop back. So let's do this. Daniel says cheap. What is cheap? What is cheap? A4. Alright, I think b4 was better than a4. Because actually what white has to do here is to limit the activity of bishop b7. So actually it's better to fix my pawns on light squares, not to give me a chance to play something like this. I mean, it only helps me. 92. Not having minimal elo. Just kidding. Okay, now you probably can hear my son. Alright? So bc3 deserves attention. Now I have some weaknesses to attack. Knight to c5, right? No time, only 44 seconds, so I have to be faster. But okay, we have an increment. I just forgot about that. Right, let's castle. So I control g5. Hopefully there is no bishop takes h7. Bishop on b7 is also protected, so there is no bishop h7, king h7, queen b1, check, and takes b7. Alright. Let's take this. Just in advance, protecting everything there. Now I have to coordinate my pieces somehow to attack this c3. At the same time, shouldn't forget about white's threats. So maybe that is what I actually underestimated here. But okay, if queen goes to d3, just play g6. Alright, let's play this. g6, now bishop a6. Queen d2. Okay. Just protecting h6 again in advance. Knight d4. Have no time, so let's take it. Maybe it was better for me not to take, but this couldn't be that bad. So I definitely have some objects of attack. I of course expected c takes d4, getting rid of that weakness, but okay. Just maybe also something. Well, but this endgame I think is just better for me. So these guys will be attacked. These guys will be just attacked one by one. And the c5 pawn, by the way, is also quite bad. Quite vulnerable. Oh, g3. Look at this rook. I can probably trap it somehow, but I don't need it. I'll just let this rook be there on h3. I'm not against for sure. I'll just take it now. Yep. Oh, Riddick's came. Okay, I'm sorry, but we are already about to finish this. So let's have a look at this. What happened in this game? So actually everything was fine. Even dc5 was okay, but I think just simple c3 should do the trick. So as for the French defense, black has misplaced pieces. So there was no counterplay against b2. There is no problem with protecting d4 anymore. So white has just much better version of French defense. dc5 gives me some counterplay, but even this is good. So takes, knight to d7 and a4. I think a4 was the start of the incorrect plan. So what white has to do here is to complete the development to control, d4 square, and to try to make my bishop passive, so to fix my pawns on this a6, b5, d5, e6 square. So instead of playing a4, I guess b4 is better, but immediate b4 is not clear because of my a5 move. So I would have played something connected with, I don't know, just simple knight d2 probably. Yeah, completing development gradually, bring the knight through, b3 to most likely d4, something like that. Yeah, because a4, okay, I just play b4, now I take on c3, I have some targets, and so forth. But okay, after knight c5 castles, knight b3 takes h6, here, queen d3, here. It was, well, almost equal position. Almost equal position. Here I think cd4 should have been played. It was just complete equality. Queen d4 still gives me these targets, and now as you can see you have two weaknesses, a4 and c3, while I have only one problem, it is the pawn on a5. But you don't have the access, and after this I'm already better. So in this endgame I just control more, and you have already one more problem. It is the pawn e5, because after h takes g5, as you can see, you don't have this f4. That's the point. All right, was knight a5, rook c8, knight c4 a possible plan to the question? Of course it was, but I didn't have the time, and I didn't want to give white this knight on d4. That was my idea. So after knight d4, this knight is potentially very, very dangerous in the sense of attack, so it has the access to these squares. So some ideas connected with bishop g6 are even possible. So let's say rook c, probably even earlier, right? So you mean here instead of playing a5. So let's say rook c8, queen, or knight to d4. If I play knight a5, queen d3, checkmate threat, here, all right, takes e6, something like this. So this knight is potentially very annoying. That's why I just wanted to exchange it in any case. Okay. Yeah, that is exactly what I'm talking about. So if I don't play a5 and play rook to c8, just knight d4. And if I play knight a5 according to your recommendation, then just queen d3 and knight takes e6 is possible. All right. Even earlier, when then? Interesting. Here maybe after bishop takes b3. Yeah, but it's almost the same. So once knight is on a5, knight goes to d4 with some counterplay. Maybe even there. I don't know, castles, knight b3. No, probably somewhere here. Rook c8, knight a5. I guess the same. So just knight d4, bishop c2, and so on. Something like that. with some counterplay. I mean, you can put the knight on c4, of course, no problems. But once your knight is on c4, you have to understand that c3 is covered by your own piece and there is no attack. While white can concentrate his pieces on the king side. Okay, move 13. Here, no, there is definitely nothing. So a4, b4, knight d2 takes me. Maybe here. Yeah, but that is the same. Okay, you can bring the knight to c4. But as I said, there is always a counterplay for white on the king side. And I think it can be very, very annoying. Okay, in any case, that's it for today. Thanks a lot for being with me. Thanks a lot for supporting, for commenting. As I said before, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can find all the links there. So bit.ly/Mastrovsky leads to my YouTube channel. Master Ostrovsky is my nickname on Twitter. It is the best way to be notified about all my chess related activity. And don't forget to follow me on twitch.tv/Mastrovsky for streams on chess.com. I'm going to stream a lot during these upcoming weeks because I'm a member of Desert Rats team, a pro chess league team, and well, I need to stream at least 30 hours until January to become a local member of that team. So that I will have a chance to support those guys in each and every game of the pro chess league on chess.com. So it will be also nice if you will come there and support me, comment, and so forth, because I have a feeling that we actually have a good time together. All right. I'm really happy if you learned something new today, although we were playing very strange openings. But as you can see, even if your opponent starts the game with this strange a3, b4 or a6, b5, you still have to be very careful not to be outplayed. All right. Thanks a lot once again. See you very soon. Bye-bye.